Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am just so excited about this interview because I have waited a long time for this. And actually, I'm so excited that I want to scream. I won't scream, but I want to bring you Dr. Joe Vitale. I mean, who doesn't know Dr. Vitale? He doesn't really need an introduction because I won't do him justice. Dr. Vitale is the author of so many best-selling books, from Attractor Factor to Zero Limits. He's been featured in a dozen movies, most notably The Secret. I think we've all seen The Secret. Dr. Vitale is a musician. He's got 15 albums to his name, and he is one of the top 50 most inspirational speakers in the world. And I will get to spend the next half an hour interviewing him. I am so blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Joe Vitale on the Magnetic Entrepreneur Podcast. Woohoo!
That was one of the most exciting introductions I have ever seen or felt. Thank you very much. I'm very flattered and honored.
Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Vitale. At what point in your life did you decide that you are going to rewrite your own story? Or did you always know this?
Oh, I did not always know that. It's a great question. I was homeless back in the 1970s. I was in poverty for 10 years in the 1980s when I lived in Houston. And during that time, I felt like a victim. During that time, I felt like everything was stacked against me. I couldn't write my story. I couldn't influence reality. I couldn't change my circumstances. I was trying to. I was reading self-help books. When I was homeless, I was pretty much hibernated in the Dallas Public Library in Dallas, Texas. And I read Think and Grow Rich and The Magic of Believing and all the success literature of the time. But I was working on myself, which I find very difficult to do for most of us. Yeah, you can change by yourself, but usually we need support. Usually we need a coach, we need a mentor, we need an event like what we're talking about here. We need something outside of ourselves to influence the direction of our lives because we're already set up to go in an unconscious direction. That's what it was for me. I did not know I could recreate my life, and I probably didn't know it until the 1990s, somewhere in there. And that came from a whole lot of self-reflection, a whole lot of dark night of the soul, a whole lot of being encouraged through the books and the events that I went to and the teachers and the coaches that I saw that I could, with conscious intent and some work, create a new script. And I began to do so. I would say even today, I'm still rewriting my script. You know, I still have things I want to achieve, records I want to break, things that I want to accomplish. So I'm not done. I'm not done living. I'm not done transforming. I'm not done inspiring. And so even from this point, I'm looking forward going, well, how do I want it to play out? How can I write a new script to fulfill some of these desires? But I certainly did not know this material growing up or in my struggle years or in those long periods of darkness.
Dr. Vitale, oh my gosh. I read your chapter in this amazing book that just came out for the conference. Okay, here you are with your guitar. And I read your chapter and it just touched me so much. And that's why I took the title right out of your chapter and write the script of your life. What do you say? We talk a little bit about that. What does that mean to you?
Well, first of all, I'm willing to talk to you about anything. And if you want to start there about writing the script of your life, let's take that. Basically, what it's saying is where you are right now is because of the decisions and the actions and the behaviors and the thoughts that you had previously. But this moment is the wake-up call, because if you're unhappy with where you are and dissatisfied or want more, this is the turning point. You can actually look in this moment and say, where do I want to go? And you can write a new script. We're not victims to circumstances, that you have more power than you ever thought before. You have more ability to choose than you ever believed was available to you. By making a new decision and reinforcing it and acting on it, you can create a whole new life, which is a whole new script. You're not destined because of your DNA or because of programming from childhood. So far, up to this moment, maybe it felt like it was destined because you didn't know you had a choice. But now I and everybody else is saying, you have a choice. You can rewrite your story. You may not have been able to influence the beginning or the middle, but you can rewrite from this point on. And that's really the message of that chapter and of me. For the people listening, for the people watching this right now, the big message is you can transform your life. I've done it, Andres did it, and countless other people have done it. It may take a little time. You may need a little support. You may need some resources. You may need to remind yourself on a daily basis of what your new goal and intent and script is. But by God, you can do it. And that's the message. As long as they buy the lie, they've bought a belief that's limiting their well-being.
That gives us so much hope. Dr. Vitale, I'm going to give you a couple of more minutes to please leave us with whatever you would like.
Well, the first thing I want to do is say thank you to you. You are a ray of sunshine. You are an absolute joy to be with. I love your energy. I love your presence. You're a beautiful woman inside and out. I would be honored. I would be thrilled to be interviewed by you again, anytime, any place. And then second, I want to say thank you to everybody who has joined us and watched this. And if you could share it, great. I don't know if this is recorded. I don't know where it goes, but if it's possible to pass it forward, please do. And then I think the third thing is, I'm a great believer in following your passion. And Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. Follow your bliss, follow your passion, follow that inner calling that tells you to go in a certain direction, even when it doesn't make any sense. I've written lots of books where there was no evidence it'd ever be published, but they ended up being turning points for me. I trusted myself, I trusted my bliss, I trusted my inner compass, and followed my passion. So I would urge everybody to follow your passion. And you began this by quoting the chapter in the book, Turning Point 2020, about writing your new script. So I encourage everybody to think about it and go, well, if I can write my story and I can write a new script, how do I want it to be? And really play with the idea that anything is possible.
Yes, please share this talk with the people you love, because you just never know who might need the information that's on here. And they might have heard it 1,000 times, but this would be the one time that they actually hear it. Thank you.